Good evening. Welcome to the July meeting of the Lake Mills Board of Education. I'm Rick Mason, Principal, President of the School Board. And our mission statement is preparing all of today's students for tomorrow's opportunities. Verification meeting notice.
Yes, the agenda was submitted to the leader, it was posted at the Lake Mills Library, the post office, and the Bank of Lake Mills on June 28th. On Thursday, July 5th, we added another action item regarding the transition program and our contract with Rock Lake Activity Center, so it was updated.
Okay, good, good. Let's say the pledge, guys. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I'm going to call the meeting to order. Could we have roll call, please, Megan?
Don Delaney. Here. Rachel Davies. Here. Robert Temperio.
Here.
David Radel.
Here.
Richard Mason.
Here. Any agenda revisions? Did you? Nothing? Okay.
Not anything that wasn't already posted.
Could we have approval then? A motion?
I move approval of the agenda as modified.
Second.
Okay, moved and seconded to approve the agenda. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Same sign? All right, it passes. Community input, any community input? Seeing none. Mr. D'Imperio, board report on the Facilities Committee.
The Facilities Committee met as a committee of the whole board on July 5th. We also had with us representatives of the Myron Construction Company and EUA Architects, as well as Ms. Strike and Ms. Brockert. And the purpose of that meeting was to review the surveys that had been done relative to the district's long-range facility planning. Wanted to point out that at a meeting about a week and a half ago, we had a presentation of that survey. It gave us an opportunity to spend some time thinking about it before we met formally as a group. Also, Ms. Strike had provided a very comprehensive article that appeared in the Leader. The further information for the public would be available on our website as far as the survey was concerned. And one of the things I would like to thank the community, we had a very high rate of participation in the survey, also those people who participated in the forums, and so we got a lot of good information from the community. We had a chance then last Thursday to spend some time with it, and based on the support that we saw in the surveys, we will be continuing to consider an addition here at this building for some of the academic programs, as well as an outdoor multi-purpose facility. The latter didn't quite get the same level of support. One of the things that we looked at doing was making some modifications to the scope of that initiative while retaining the actual functional characteristics of it that were important. We think that that may be something that will be very helpful to us. We still have some work to do, and as we look forward to our August meeting, we will have to make a final decision as to moving forward with a referendum for November. Should we do that, there will be additional educational discussions with the community to make sure that everyone has a good understanding of what it is that is included and the benefits that will accrue from them. So.
Good. Any questions at all from anyone? Good, thank you. So are we going to Mrs. Sivrud?
Yep.
Hello.
You hardly gave me time to finish my notes tonight. So So the first thing I'd like to talk about is the standards that you're looking at adopting tonight. It is now the law that you have to adopt those standards every July. And so what you have as an attachment is the list of standards and the names that are there. And then also know that they are updated on our website so that anybody in the community can, or the world actually, can click on the standards and see the link that it goes to for those standards. So if you have any questions about that, please let me know. And then the second thing I'd like to talk about is our safety grant that was awarded today. We went to the press conference, Pam and Rod and I went to the press conference that Attorney Brad Schimmel announced that we were awarded $56,000 for our safety grant. And just to let you know some of the things that we're doing with that, one of the requirements was to put shatter-resistant film on all of our entrances at all of the schools, the main entrances. Another one was to make sure that all door locks, all classroom locks, any room that a child is in, is able to be locked from the inside. And so we're replacing 2 locks at the elementary school on 2 intervention rooms that didn't previously have that. And then we are updating all of our entrances. Right now, people are able to enter the buildings, come into the vestibule, and from there they get clicked in. And what our safety audit said is that that is not really safe. We need to have a way of communicating with people before they enter the building. So we will be installing intercom systems at every entranceway, and people will have to hit a little clicker and say, "Hi, I'm here for," whatever they're here for, before they enter our building, and that will unlock a door to them coming in. That way, if somebody is suspicious or we're unsure why they're there, we can do a little bit more investigating before someone enters the building. So that's the biggest change in culture that I see. Right now, we really want people to come into our buildings, and we still do want people to come into our buildings. That's not what we're trying to do. We're trying to keep our kids safe and just know why people are coming to our buildings. And we really want to invite people to come in and work with our kids and do that kind of stuff. But we just have to know who you are, why you're there, and all that kind of stuff before you can come in. We're also installing a new camera at the elementary school and 2 new cameras at the middle school, 5 new cameras at the high school, and replacing 12 analog cameras to digital to match our just updating 12 cameras so that they are a little easier. And we have to install a new server to update, to handle some of those at the high school level. And then there's 22 locks at the high school. I don't know if I said this already, that had to be replaced here because they were not lockable from the inside. There were doors that locked, but weren't lockable from the inside in case something were to happen. So we're very excited and we're very happy that we got this grant, and we're going to start work. Rod gets to start tomorrow with the POs and getting people here to get it done because we want to get as much done before school starts as possible.
Any questions?
I have a question about, so that's the main entrance. What about the other doors? Is anything going to be done to, I don't know, a system of letting somebody know if a door is left open, maybe?
That would be awesome. That wasn't included in the grant.
Okay. I'm sure that'd be very expensive, but.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
But I think above all else, one of the things that we really emphasize to people within our safety plan and our training of staff is no doors are to be propped open. As you walk by a door, make sure it's closed. Like that type of stuff is emphasized all the time. One of the things I would say is this is my first time coordinating summer school, and teachers came to me and said, they're propping open that door so they can go play on the playground. Please tell them to stop. So staff who work with us during the year know our routines, know our rules, making sure our summer school staff.
Education of the.
Right,
staff.
also do the same thing. And it was a good sign to me that people said that to me.
Yeah.
Hey, we don't prop our doors for any reason. Good.
Well, congratulations on the grant.
Oh, thank you.
Okay. One other aspect of the grant, maybe say this, one of the other aspects of the grant that we were ahead of other districts is the training of all staff in trauma-informed schools. And we have trained most of our staff. And so there's just a little portion of the staff that will finish up. But many other school districts have to now train their whole staffs in that philosophy. So we were able to spend more money on other things because we had already invested in that training.
Rachel?
Oh, I know. So the idea of having to ring in from outside of the building, fully outside of the building, that seems to, just a comment on that and then a question, that would seem to not only be able to allow the staff in the office to find out a little bit more about who they are and why they're there, but also give them more time to call the police.
Yes.
You know, first responders. So, but the other part of that is when you talk about culture shift, there's going to be some work to be done about don't hold the door for the person behind you.
Absolutely.
That's going to be the hard part, where we're all going to feel really rude about not holding the door for
It
the
is
next parent.
really hard to, well, and I think
So,
the culture, what we have to decide as a district, is it okay to hold the door for somebody that you know and why, you know why they're going in there? And there's certain times of the day where the doors are open when kids come in the building.
Right.
Everybody just comes in. It's that 1 o'clock time when nobody usually comes in, and you're dropping off the clarinet that they forgot, or you're, you know, it's a little harder. Yeah,
yeah, so there's going to be some education
absolutely.
for parents. Yeah. And what's acceptable and what's not.
Right.
Yeah.
Hey, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Mrs. Thompson?
Good evening. A couple of updates on the professional development that's been going on at the elementary school this past month. We had a group get together with Teresa Schrader, our social worker at the elementary school, to go through EduClimber and look at some user-friendly features for our teachers as we start back in the fall, for teachers to be able to look at all of the data and all of the information that's included to look at their classes to prepare for the start of the year. We also have a couple of book studies that we've been engaged in. One is called Trauma-Informed Schools. Another one is called Lost at School, and those two book clubs have teachers as well as our pupil service team involved in those book studies and conversations. I also was able to attend the Quality Educator Conference this past month, and where the focus was on equity, implicit bias, trauma, and mental health. So I was able to come back with a lot of good networking connections as well as new information and learning. And then finally, I included my student handbook for your review. If you have any questions, you can either give me a call or send me an email.
Questions? Okay, thank you very much. Ms. Brockert?
On board docs, I have included for you what has been sent to the Lake Mills Leader for the annual meeting and budget hearing notices. So just to remind you that the budget hearing starts at 7 on July 23rd, and the annual meeting starts at 7:30. Just wanted you to see what's going to be in the paper this week and the following week. And then in addition, just to let you know, we have the audit scheduled for the week of July 30th.
Okay, thank you. Mrs. Strike?
Okay, just a few highlights, first of all, from the high school. In addition to the training that Ms. Thompson mentioned, the principals all did attend the annual Principal Academy at Marshall High School, or Marshall School District. And the topics there, again, were school safety and security, and focusing on Act 143. And they also spent some of their day reviewing guidelines and reminders of just how to do school investigations. Staff at the high school have the AP teachers, the advanced placement teachers, have gone to the Summer Institute workshop at UW-Madison. And we have taken a sneak peek at our AP scores, and Cale didn't want me to reveal that for you, but he will give those scores next month, but they're really outstanding. So that's a great group of teachers, and they're honing their skills even more this summer by going to UW-Madison. And then finally, the science department has been working with Ms. Tara Williams on looking at their science curriculum in regard to meeting the needs of English language learners. So lots going on at the high school. At the middle school, you'll see attached the middle school handbook. And the only real change, and talk about change in culture, the middle school has decided that for this next year, and you'll see this reflected in the handbook, that students' phones will be powered off and stored in their lockers. They all have Chromebooks, they have access to technology, so phones are not needed in that way. And so the staff there is going to work on changing that culture about how kids use phones at school and how staff uses phones at school as well. In terms of my highlights, you'll see in your packet that the recreation report is included there. And then I just wanted to mention that this is considered the first reading of several handbook changes, employee handbook changes. To be more specific, almost 200 of them. And the reason there are so many handbook changes this year is because we have had our consultant go through the entire handbook and change all the references to policy to the new numbering system. We've made some editorial changes, like putting the new calendar in and changing some typos and things like that. Then there's another group of changes that are reflective of changes that we need to make in the other post-employment benefits. The impact, the benefits are not changed, but it's more in how we need to handle the payout of those benefits. There are several date changes that we've made of when things are paid out, and also just using our 403B program more wisely for our staff. So instead of having payouts in a check, in a payroll system, they will be placed in a 403B for their benefit and ours. Then there are some other kinds of changes that we're going to talk about. One thing is in terms of non-discrimination, we've included anything about genetics there because we're starting to use biometric screening for all staff members. It's offered to them on a voluntary basis, but we need to be very public about the fact that we do not house any genetic information and we would not use that as a basis of discrimination for our staff. We've made some changes within personal leave to just kind of reflect our practice, rather, and to really highlight to staff that if an emergency happens the day of, they can contact the district office and use a personal day. They don't need to always have 5 days notice because we know that emergencies do arise, so we've included that. We've updated some pay for co-curriculars, and that's reflected there, and changed some expectations of staff that have district provided cell phones about replying to those in a timely manner, even if it's off work hours. We have a notation about that. And then some vacation kind of information for full-time employees, how they accumulate vacation. Okay, all of that is provided in your packet. You can take a look at all of those items, and if you have any questions, don't hesitate to give me a call. We would vote on those next month. That's all I have.
All right, thank you. Moving on to the action items. If my memory serves me well, I think, Rachel, you were on the 11th of June meeting, right? Okay, let's take that one separately then. Approval of June 11th regular Board of Education meeting.
I move the board approve the minutes of the June 11th, 2018 regular Board of Education meeting.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any questions, comments on those? Let's have roll call.
Don Delaney,
Aye.
Rachel Davies,
Abstain?
Robert D'Imperio,
Aye.
David Radel,
Aye.
Richard Mason.
Aye, and that's 4 in favor and 1 abstention. Now, the next 3, I believe everybody was at those, so we could take those 3 together. Approval of...
Oh, no, not the June 11th.
Finance.
Oh, the June 11th, yeah, okay, let's take this separate again. Approval of June 11th Finance Committee meeting.
I'll move the board approve the proceedings of the June 11th, 2018 Finance Committee meeting.
Second.
Moved and seconded, approved. Questions, comments? All right, roll call, please.
Rachel Davies,
Abstain?
Robert D'Imperio,
Aye.
David Radel,
Aye.
Don Delaney,
Aye.
Richard Mason.
Aye, that's 4 in favor and 1 abstention. Now, we can take the June 26th and the July 5th together.
I'll move the board approve the minutes of the June 26, 2018 Special Board of Education meeting and the July 5th, 2018 Facilities Committee proceedings.
Second.
Good, moved and seconded. Any questions on those? Roll call, please.
Robert D'Imperio,
Aye.
David Radel,
Aye.
Don Delaney,
Aye.
Rachel Davies,
Aye.
Richard Mason.
Aye, and that passes unanimously. Approval of vouchers and invoices.
I move the board approve the vouchers and invoices in the amount of $2,724,061.46 for the month of June 2018.
Second.
Moved and seconded to approve the vouchers and Invoices. Questions or comments on that? Roll call, please.
David Radel.
Aye.
Don Delaney.
Aye.
Rachel Davies.
Aye.
Robert D'Imperio.
Aye.
Richard Mason.
Aye, and that passes unanimously. Unanimously. Approval of the treasurer's report.
Move the board approve the treasurer's report for June 2018.
Second.
Moved and seconded to approve the treasurer's report. Any questions on that? Roll call, please.
Don Delaney.
Aye.
Rachel Davies.
Aye.
Robert D'Imperio.
Aye.
David Radel.
Aye.
Richard Mason.
Aye, and that passes unanimously. Approval of budget amendments for the 17-18 school year.
I move the board approve the 2017-18 budget revisions as presented.
Second.
These were discussed at the Finance Committee meeting, so we have a couple of abstentions in there.
No, they came in late.
Came in, oh, they weren't there, yeah.
They were there.
They were there for this discussion.
Yeah, this one,
For this
okay.
portion?
Yes.
Rachel Davies.
Aye.
Robert D'Imperio.
Aye.
David Radel.
Aye.
Don Delaney.
Aye.
Richard Mason.
Aye, and that passes unanimously. Approval of curriculum for the 18-19 school year.
The only thing I wanted to say about this is that you have approved all of these curriculums throughout all of our meetings. This is just to get us in the habit of every July presenting them as a whole list and posting them on our website, calling the public attention to that.
Okay.
I move the board approve the curriculum for the 2018-2019 school year as presented.
Second.
Moved and seconded to approve the curriculum. Any discussion on that?
Yes.
Rachel?
So what's attached is the standards list.
Yes.
So is that the same as the curriculum?
Jamie?
I didn't think so.
No, standards are the minimum level of what we're supposed to expect every child to reach at each point
Right.
in their career. So the standards, teachers teach much more than the standards, and like our AP classes go much higher than the standards in many of the courses. So curriculum is more the scope and sequence that you see every year as we adopt and we write new stuff. But the standards are what needs to be approved.
That's what I
So
thought.
that word should be
Yes,
standards.
that's what I was getting at, yeah.
Yep.
Because it says curriculum all over our screen, but it's really the standards.
Really standards.
Yes.
Any other questions?
So you want to take a friendly amendment to change that word to standards rather than curriculum?
Approve the standards for the,
That's what we're supposed to be doing, right?
go back to, who made the motion? Is that
That is,
acceptable to
that's
you?
acceptable, yes.
Second?
Second?
Okay.
Acceptable? Okay, so we'll change that to standards.
Yes.
I move the board approve the standards for the
Yes.
2018-19 school
Would be
year.
the Wisconsin standards, right?
Okay. Questions? Any additional questions? Okay, Megan, roll call.
Robert D'Imperio.
Aye.
David Radel.
Aye.
Don Delaney.
Aye.
Rachel Davies.
Aye.
Richard Mason.
Aye, and that passes unanimously. Approval of early graduation requests for the 18-19 school year.
You have 3 of these, and they were done in a timely manner, which is wonderful. Each of the letters are included there, and we support all 3 of these for very different reasons, as you see in the letters.
Motion, please.
I move the board approve the 3 early graduation requests for the 2018-19 school year as presented.
Second.
Moved and seconded to approve early graduation requests. Any questions on that? Roll call, please.
David Radel.
Aye.
Don Delaney.
Aye.
Rachel Davies.
Aye.
Robert D'Imperio.
Aye.
Richard Mason.
Aye, and that passes unanimously. Approval of the RLAC lease agreement for the 18-19 school year.
As you recall, we had tabled this earlier until we needed a little bit more information, but the issue has been resolved, and we'd like to go ahead with starting this.
I move to take the motion regarding the lease agreement with the Rock Lake Activity Center off the table for consideration.
Second.
Okay, so we're bringing it back on, or putting it back on the table. So we'll vote on that first, and then we'll take the second motion. So roll call on the first motion?
Don Delaney,
Aye.
Rachel Davies,
Aye.
Robert D'Imperio,
Aye.
David Radel,
Aye.
Richard Mason.
Aye. And that passes unanimously. We now have the motion on the table, and motion number 2, please.
I move the board approve the lease agreement between the Lake Mills Area School District and the Rock Lake Activity Center for the 2018-19 school year.
Second.
Moved and seconded to approve the lease agreement. Any questions on that? Everyone understands why we held it? Okay, roll call, please.
Rachel Davies.
Aye.
Robert D'Imperio.
Aye.
David Radel.
Aye.
Don Delaney.
Aye.
Richard Mason.
Aye, and that passes unanimously. Approval of co-curricular resignations.
We have 2 coaches that will be, have submitted their resignations for this upcoming school year.
I move the board approve the following co-curricular resignations and thank the coaches for their dedication to the students of the Lake Mills Area School District. Mr. Samuel Fossil, girls varsity soccer coach, and Mr. Pedro Brown, varsity wrestling coach.
Second.
Moved and seconded to approve the co-curricular resignations. Comments, questions? Roll call, please.
Robert D'Imperio.
Aye.
David Radel.
Aye.
Don Delaney.
Aye.
Rachel Davies.
Aye.
Richard Mason.
Aye, and that passes unanimously. Finally, approval of gifts.
There are many, many gifts this month, so I'll let you have had that list.
I move the board approve the following donations to the Lake Mills Area School District and thank the donors for their generosity. $100 from the Lake Mills Rotary Club to the Lake Mills High School Show Choir, $450 from the Lake Mills Rotary Club to the Lake Mills High School Awards Night Reception, $500 from Mr. Newton at Vita Plus to the Lake Mills High School FFA, $550 from Waterhouse Bistro to the Lake Mills High School Drama Club for students to attend a live performance, $1,000 from the Lake Mills Optimists to the Lake Mills High School Octagon Club for the 2019 International Convention, $946 from TT's Time Out for Lake Mills Middle School student activities, $500 from Madison Elks for the Green Tree Room Inspire project at the Lake Mills Middle School, $250 from John Shearduck from UW-Madison for the Foreign Lingo Inspire project at the Lake Mills Middle School, donations of food from Lake Mills Market for the 8th grade recognition night valued over $100, and donations of 500 sundaes from Culvers to the Lake Mills Middle School valued at over $100.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Thank you, Mr. Radel, for that. And we thank all of our donations that we've received this month. It's really an extensive list. Questions or comments on that? Okay, roll call, please.
David Radel.
Aye.
Don Delaney.
Aye.
Rachel Davies.
Aye.
Robert D'Imperio.
Aye.
Richard Mason.
Aye, and that passes unanimously. Upcoming agenda items for,
As Wendy mentioned, we'll have the annual meeting on July 23rd, starting at 7 o'clock in the high school auditorium. Then in August, we will talk about the possibility of laying out those questions for an upcoming referendum in November. We will need your approval of the middle school and elementary school handbooks. We'll have approval of the revisions to the employee handbook, and then in that month, we also always have our required seclusion and restraint report from Ms. Brown.
anything else anybody can think of? All right, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn then.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed? We are now adjourned.